All right, guys, welcome back to 40 Casuals MMA betting show. As always, I'm your host, Fabs. I'm alongside my co host, Ed. We are going to be breaking down UFC 299, one of the most stacked UFC pay per views to this day, to this year, honestly. And one that we were looking forward to for a while now. You know, we circled it on the calendar, and dude, time flies. We're here. What can I say?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think a lot of people, this might be some people's UFC 300. I think this card is stacked all the way from the top to bottom. It looks very good. A lot of good fights, a lot of good picks, a lot of good money to be made. I think it's just going to be one of those nights that everyone just enjoys the entire night of fights.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we were breaking down, like I said, UFC 299, O'Malley versus Vera number 2, a rematch in the making, 4 years in the making, I believe, since the COVID years. I remember watching that fight, the first fight. But yeah, so we can get started from with Joanne Wood against Myra Moros. You can go ahead and break this one down.
Okay, so yeah, just looking over this fight is a rematch as well. I think these girls fought about a couple of years ago. I think it was like 2015. It's been like 9 years since they last fought, but since then, two different kind of styles of career. Wood is 2-3 in her last five fights. She's coming off that split decision win over Luana Caroline. That fight was almost a year ago, so she hasn't been super active or anything like that. But she is a striker. She does have good pressure. She's gonna mix it up, throw elbows, knees, and kicks. She has grappling she can use as well, decent takedowns, but she is 38 years old and starting to slow down. And I really don't like when fighters are older and start taking time off. But her opponent, Maurice, she's 3-2 in her last five fights. She's a striker who likes to fight on the outside, but she's very hittable. She will work her takedowns if it's needed. Like I said, a rematch from 9 years ago, but I don't think that's matters. I think Maurice got the win by armbar in the first fight, but that was over 9 years ago. These are two completely different fighters. And if I'm gonna pick anyone to win this fight, I think I'll just pick Maurice just because she's the younger fighter and I think the more active one as well. And I think I wouldn't bet anything on this one. I think this is gonna be kind of a close matchup. It honestly, this one could go either way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you nailed it down. I think Marna or whatever, how do you say her name, Moros, should get the dub this in here. Like you noted, Joanne Wood is 38 years old. I feel like that's ancient for 125 pounds for flyweight, and I mean, I don't know how much better she can get since she's older. So, and old habits die hard. I think Marina is gonna, Omoro, excuse me, is gonna go ahead and take her down. And I honestly feel like she's gonna submit her again. And but yeah, I'm not really interested in betting this fight. It's a pass for me. But I think Morris should dominate her, and I feel like it's gonna be the same rematch that we saw in the first fight. To be honest. But yeah, we can go ahead and move on because I don't really have a strong opinion on that first fight. Next, we got CJ Vergara against Alambayev. I think that's how you say his name. Go ahead, you can
Yeah.
break this one down as well.
Okay, so basically, just looking over this fight, we know who both of these fighters are. CJ Vergaro, he's 3-2 in his last five fights. He's coming off a two-fight winning streak. His last fight was a decision win over Vinicius Salvador. CJ Vergara, we already know he's a pressure fighter. He's gonna come forward. He usually stays on the outside when he fights. He's never got a takedown, I don't think, but if he is taken down, he has good BJJ and works to get back to his feet. Pretty solid overall, I think. But Asu, a 14 fight winning streak. This is his second fight in the UFC. He got that second round rear naked choke in his debut. He's a good striker. He's gonna control the range and has great grappling. He'll look to use. I just think that Asu is the pick. I think he can hang on the feet with CJ and probably utilize his great groundwork. And I think he has plenty of cardio to take this fight. Last all 15 minutes, and I like him in this fight, but I don't like the odds on him. When I was looking at the odds, they had him as a minus 550. And honestly, for someone that's just in his second fight in the UFC, fighting someone like CJ Vergara, who is a good fighter, I wouldn't touch anything on minus 550. But that's really all I got on you. I think Asu takes this fight, though.
Yeah, I think so too as well. I think Asu is just the much better athlete in this fight. Like you said, he's gonna go down. He's gonna go for the takedowns. He's very grappling heavy. I'm not really interested in laying down minus 550 on him, to be honest. Just because I mean we saw it last week with Basharat, with the Basharat brother. He was minus what 800, minus 600 or something like that. Other guy was plus 500 or whatnot, and he lost. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for me at this price. It's a second fight, and yeah, it just people are assuming that he's the second coming of John Bone Jones or something. But at that price, I'm not really interested. He should take this one pretty easily, to be honest. If not, he might submit him. But like you said, CJ Vergara has good takedown defense. He stuffed the takedown. He stuffed at least one takedown from Daniel Lacerda whenever I was rewatching that fight, as well as I believe his last fight versus Vinicia Salvador. He stuffed down two takedowns, and yeah, so he's primarily he likes to use his boxing, his stand up. But I just think that Asu, in overall, is just a better fighter, to be honest, a better athlete. Not really interested, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass on this one as well. Moving forward.
And not
Go
only
ahead.
one last thing on that one is just that I think a lot of people learn their lesson on don't just add a fighter at minus 500 just because it's going to win you a couple extra dollars. I was like, some of these this is fighting, anything can happen. And there's nothing worse than probably losing a parlay just because you got too greedy and wanted to add maybe five more extra bucks on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving forward, we have Robert this Payne Rubeles, sorry. This Payne versus Josh Parisian. I can go ahead and break this one down. We know who Josh Parisian is. He's a UFC veteran of the game now, and Rubeles is making his debut. He only has around probably what like a minute of tape because he's knocked everyone
Yeah,
out.
it's very short.
Very, very short. So this one, I couldn't really get much of a good read on it. I honestly just think that Rob Lee's and his 5-inch reach advantage is going to be too much for Josh Parisian. He's going to work the body. He's going to kick. He's a bronze medalist in, what is it, Taekwondo, I believe, correct?
Yeah, taekwondo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out our buddy. uh, yeah, so he's going to work the body. He's going to kick. He's gonna do everything standing up, and you know, I think the reach is gonna be too much for Josh Parisian. I think Rob Lees is gonna knock him out, to be honest. But am I gonna lay down minus 350 on a person that's debuting and only has around 39 seconds of film against some your Uber drivers? Probably not. If hopefully I'll try to bet round two, round three, maybe on Rob Lees. Hopefully Josh Parisian can handle a beating and he can last till round two, round three. But I just think Rob Lee should take this one. But in general, I'm gonna have to pass. 35-year-old Cuban. Yeah, not really keen to betting that. He could either be a superstar or he can be a complete fraud. So there's no in between with this guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like you said, I don't think we've ever seen anyone at 35 years old become like a hyped up prospect as much as we've seen about this guy. Like you said, he's only been in there, I think, in his last or all his last fights for only like 20 seconds or something like that, which is insane for a guy. But like you said, bronze medalist in Taekwondo, he's 6'7", 87 inch reach. This guy is just like, I guess, a genetic freak. Those people over there in that area of the world. I mean, he's from Cuba, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so like, Yoel Romero, like they have genetics that are crazy. And honestly, I think He's obviously going to be the pick. Josh Parisian, we all know who he is. Like you said, he's been in the game. He's a striker who's going to continue to throw strikes for the entirety of the fight for the whole 15 minutes. But he doesn't really have that knockout power. So I don't think he's going to be able to last with this new guy. Like you said, not a lot of tape. We don't know how he would do, let's say, in the second or third round if it got there, or how he would defend takedowns. So it's pretty unknown waters with this guy. But if anything, if you really feel confident on this guy, you could bet a round one at minus 150 or round two at plus 550 for him. But overall, I think he's gonna get it done. I think he seems very excited. I'm excited to see this fight, but I don't know how he's gonna fare in the UFC, especially at his age. If they want to build him into a superstar, they better get working pretty fast. We know these heavyweights can last longer into like the 40s, but they might want to start hurrying him up and pushing him up there if they're gonna try to take him the superstar route.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no in between with the Cuban fighters. They say they're 35, they're either 25 or they're 45. So, uh, good case scenario is Yoel Romero, excuse me. He's what, fighting 46 years old now, and he's still looking good. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, you either take whenever you're betting round props in this new debutant, basically, you either are betting that Josh Parisian lasts more than a round, or you're betting that the other guy can get it done in a round. So, like I said, I'll probably bet round one, round two, maybe. But I don't think I'll do it honestly. But who knows? It's UFC 299. I might get inspired. Moving forward, we have Michelle Pereira against Michael. I don't even know how to say his last name, to be honest. Oh, I don't know. Michael O. uh, you can go ahead and break this one down.
Okay, so Michael Pereira, we already know who he is. He's on a six-fight winning streak currently. His last win was that first round finish of Andre Petroski, which looked pretty good. He finished him in the first round, and he's on a six-fight winning streak. We know he's that crazy, very fun, flashy fighter. He has power in his hands, and his takedown and grappling is pretty good overall. I think he's kind of toned down all the craziness and kind of controlled himself a little bit, but he's still a very fun fighter that I like to watch. And his opponent, Michael O, 3-2 in his last five fights. His last fight was a first round finish. He's a striker who's gonna put pressure. He has very fast hands. Um, he's shown to have power with some of his latest wins, but I think as the fight goes on, he kind of fades a little bit. And his grappling isn't the best, but he does have a solid chin. In this fight, I think I like Pereira just because he looks good at this new weight class. I think not having to drain himself in a weight cut is going to help with his cardio and everything. And he's just very an excited fighter that I really like, and I think he's going to be the pick on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know who Michelle Pereira is. He has those weird strikes. He does weird stuff in the cage. I just think that at 185, he's a bigger monster than at 170. Like you said, he's not drained. He's not draining himself way too bad. Uh, can I can I bet on Michelle Pereira to finish a fight? Probably not. It's one of those other fighters that as well that they fight. They have all the tools to win, but they fight to their opponent's level. If that makes any sense, so if he's fighting a bum, he's gonna fight like a bum, and his fight IQ basically is not the best because he's been doing some weird, basically weird shit. If we're being honest, with the weird strikes. Hopefully, like you said, he's toned it down and he can actually get the finish. I'd be looking to maybe let's see, Michelle Pereira. I don't have the odds for the round, but probably Michelle Pereira by KO, or if he tries to grapple him, maybe because he is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and the other Michael O, he's not the best with when it comes to grappling. To be honest, he's gone submitted by Jimmy Crute, I believe, back in when was that? When he got submitted? Let's see. He got submitted by OSP in 2019. He got submitted by Jimmy Crute in 2020, and yeah. So I just feel like if he and Kyle Borrallo also submitted him
Yep.
as well. So I just believe if Michelle Pereira can actually fight smart and mix in the takedowns, mix in the grappling and the striking, I think Michael O is in for a long run, you know. So, but can I trust a Michel Pereira to do that and fight smart? Probably not. I just feel like Michel Pereira puts himself in some weird situations because of all these stunts that he does, all the backflips that he just wastes his cardio on. But the pick is Michel Pereira. I don't know if I'm gonna bet any round props on this one, but we'll see what the odds are looking like. Not most of the odds are out for us, unfortunately. Anything else to add on this one?
No, I just think it's going to be an exciting fight. But like you said, if Pereira sticks to the game plan, uses his strikes and utilizes the grappling, I think he could definitely take this fight to the ground, especially against Michael O, who I think can struggle with his grappling. I think Pereira could finish him on the feet or on the ground, but I think this one should be an exciting fight, especially if it stays on the feet as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving forward, we have Ion Cutelaba, the Hulk, against Philippe Elins. We know both fighters. Philippe Elins coming in at 38 years of age. He has a 3-inch reach advantage. Ion Cutelaba, we know him for his power. Uh, Honestly, I think the pick for me here is Ion Cutelaba. I think he's gonna be he is the younger fighter by 8 years. He's gonna be faster. He's gonna come in. He's gonna punch him. He's gonna use his striking effectively. And Philip Lintz, yeah, I don't think I think he's gonna fade. To be honest, in the later rounds, he's getting up there in age, and I don't really like betting on people that are over 36 and above. To be honest, and I will make that one exception later in the card, and you know who, but we'll get there when we get there. What do you think about this one?
So yeah, whenever I was looking over this fight, Kutalaba, he's 2-3 in his last five fights. He's coming off that first round win of Tanner Bozer. He's a grappler, but he does have power in his hands. But the only thing about him is that his chin is kind of questionable. But overall, he's very fast and athletic. But when he does get put out, it's not that he's losing to some bums. He's losing to very, I think, good level competition. I mean, when he was knocked out by Kennedy and Chukwe, Johnny Walker and Ryan Spann choked him out. Those are very good, high level quality guys. He was even put out by Magomed Ankalaev, like I said, kind of top of the division kind of guys. So I don't think he's a bum or anything. And Phillips, he's a former heavyweight. He still seems he has power in his hands. He also has a BJJ black belt, but he looks to stay on the feet. The only thing that I don't like is that Kutelaba does have that questionable chin, but the quality of fighters he's lost to has been top tier, so you can't knock him on that. And honestly, I don't think Philip Lins is the top of the top that Kutelaba has faced. And like you said, 38 years old, not the best for a fighter. So I think Kutelaba is going to be the pick on this one, but it just depends if he can take a punch or anything because I think Phillips does have power that could knock him out, but I think if Kutalaba can avoid that big shot, I think he's going to win this fight.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We can move ahead as well. We got Pedro Munoz against Kyler Phillips. You can go ahead and break this one. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I was looking at this one, Pedro Munoz, he's 1-3-1 in his last five fights. He's coming off that unanimous decision loss against Chito Vera, who we all know is fighting for the belt. He's a volume striker. He has good leg kicks, and he does have some power in his hands. I do give him that. And on the ground, he can utilize his BJJ. But he is kind of on a losing. I feel like this is kind of the changing of the guard. The younger fighter facing the more older, experienced fighter. I think that Kyler Phillips, he's 4-1 in his last five fights. He's coming off that win over Honey Barcelos. I think he's a very well-rounded fighter. He can strike, he can grapple, and he's constantly moving in the octagon. He's not just going to stand in front of you and let you hit him. But Pedro has fought the higher level competition. But Phillips, I think, showed in his last fight against Barcelos that he sets a pace and he can stay on his opponent. And with Pedro being 37 years old and matched up against a 28-year-old who looks impressive recently, I think Kyler is probably going to be the pick, and he's going to be able to stay on Pedro and keep busy throughout the entire fight. Can Pedro give us one of those old performances that he's used to where he just looks great? I think so. But considering how he's getting older, kind of the level of competition he's faced is high level as well. I just don't think he has it in it anymore, especially in that last fight against Marlon Vera. It was kind of a closer fight, somewhat close, but not really. But I think Pedro really didn't look like how he used to, and I just think that the game is kind of passing him by. And I think Kyler Phillips will probably get this one done.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like that pick too, as well as I do feel like Kyle Phillips will win this one. I don't think he's gonna knock him out or get him out of there, to be honest, because Pedro historically is very durable. I mean, we've seen it in the Marlon Chito Vera fight, a fight that's a little bit closer than most people were anticipating, and but that's the thing because Marlon does start very slow. Uh, but either way, I think even at the in the O'Malley fight, he looked good until the eye poke, or until he decided to quit, as a lot of people think. So if I were to
Me.
bet someone here, I'd probably take a shot by at Kyler Phillips by decision. It's at -125, or maybe even a split decision, because like you said, Pedro has fought the better competition, and even when he fought Chris Gutierrez, and Chris Gutierrez is, who we know who Chris Gutierrez is. He is 5 years younger than Pedro Munoz, and that fight was pretty competitive as well. And Pedro Munoz, it went the distance. So, if anything, if I can take maybe a split decision choice for Kyler Phillips, that'll also be a great pick in my opinion. I don't think he finishes him. I think Pedro has got one more in the tank, if I'm being honest, and I think he can last all 3 rounds, but I don't think he's gonna win. Basically, I think Kyler outpoints him on the feet, and the only and on the ground, to be honest, I think Pedro can get himself out of dangerous positions. He is a black belt. I don't. I think Kyler is a blue belt or a purple belt. If I'm being honest, I don't think he's a black belt. So it's more likely it's gonna stay in the feet. To be honest, so it just depends who gets to pick their poison. We do have a 7-inch reach advantage for Kyler Phillips, so he's gonna pick him apart from afar. He's gonna come in and out. Like you said, he's always moving, constantly lateral movements. Kind of reminds me of a young of how he moves, like Dominic Cruz. Not basic, not the same, but he just moves in and out and is always constantly moving, never stopping, always pushing the pace. But I don't think he knocks him out.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I just think also when you're talking about Pedro having that granite chin, I did place a bet for Cheeto to knock him out, and that was a donation. I know that he historically has a great chin, so I give him props on that. And like when you were talking about, oh, some people think he quit. Pedro, if you saw my comment on your Instagram post before it was deleted, I apologize for that. Don't kill me, but I did think you quit it in that fight.
Oh man. And moving forward, we have probably one of my favorite fighters. And actually, both of these guys are probably one of my favorite fighters. We got Gamrot against Rafael dos Anjos. And go ahead and break this one down. Rafael dos Anjos moving back down from his welterweight experience against Vicente Luque, moving back down to a lightweight. Probably not good for the body, honestly. He's 39 years old. I'm not sure how he keeps on doing it. He's probably has a great doctor. We know who both of these guys are. I think Dos Anjos is a little bit older, is way too old for the game right now. And I think Gamron is going to go ahead and push the pace, going to go try to take him down, mix in the strikes. Yes, Gamrot is a decision machine, so he's gonna win this by decision. I feel like Dos Anjos is smart enough not to get knocked out or submitted, but we don't know because I said the same thing against the fight against Fasiv, and at the end of basically round 5, he got knocked out. So, but I don't think Gamrot is that type of person like Fasiv who can knock him out. I feel like it's just gonna be another clinic of takedowns, and he's gonna try to take him down. Maybe use some ground and pound. Dos Anjos is gonna get back up, and yeah, I think that's how the fight's gonna play out. I think Gamrot wins a decision on this one, and we might even see Dos Anjos retire. To be honest, but I just don't think it's that healthy for him to come back from welterweight all the way to lightweight again and try to take a very dangerous Mateus Gamrot who pushes the pace. doesn't get tired in my opinion, and just goes after takedown after takedown after takedown. What do you think?
Yeah, so just before I start breaking down this fight, I honestly feel bad for Gamrot. I mean, the lightweight division is so open to all these matchups. We have Gaethje and Holloway, we got Charles and Armin, and everyone's talking about potential fights for the belt, and no one's talking about Mateus Gamrot, which is pretty upsetting because this guy is game. He is one of the top guys in the division. I just feel like he doesn't get his flowers like he should. Probably because some people don't particularly enjoy his fight style, but I think this guy is really good and deserves to be held at least in the discussion of potential fights for that lightweight belt. But besides that point, looking over at this fight, Dos Anjos, we already know he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He's a former lightweight champion. He's all around a great fighter. He's a great grappler. His takedowns, he can get takedowns. He's kind of fluid on the feet. I don't think he's as appreciated as much as he deserves as well. He's a legend. He's going to be in the UFC forever, probably. But he's facing a tough opponent in Mateus Gamrot. Gamrot, he's coming off that fluky win against Fiziev because of an injury, but we can't dock him on that. He's a great nonstop wrestler. I don't know. There's something weird about him. If he gets hit, he does get dropped, but he recovers like instantly fast. He's like one of those bowling ball pins that just pop right back up. But he has good striking technique, and his main weapon is going to be the wrestler. And whenever I was looking at this fight, I thought it was pretty clear. I think Mateus is the younger fighter. If Luque was able to take down Dos Anjos and hold him against the cage, I can only think that Gamrot is going to overwhelm him with the grappling. I don't think his cardio is going to be an issue at all, and I think he's probably just going to get a decision win. But the fact that this fight is so far in the prelims is kind of shocking, but it's a really great fight, and I'm looking forward to it. But I think Mateus Gamrot is going to win this fight. Probably make a bigger case on him being included in that title picture. What are the odds on this fight? We're looking, let's see,
We're looking at
minus
Gamrot
450.
minus 450. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would look at laying anything on just straight money line, but Gamma by decision minus 165. I think that's a better thing if you would like to parlay that or something like that. But I think this one's pretty straightforward. I think Gamra's just going to overwhelm him with the takedowns and wrestle him to a decision at the end. And if this is Dos Anjos' last fight, I think it was a great career in the UFC and nothing to be ashamed of. This guy fought for so long, but I think it's time. It's a new changing of the guard as well in this one.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of those fights that are just changing of the guards, you know?
Yeah, there's like plenty of those matchups like in this card. It just feels like old versus new school, like in terms of how long they've been in the UFC and like I guess like the older fighters trying to keep like relevant or in those high level positions and the younger fighter just trying to make a new name.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving forward, we have Caitlin Criminera, I think it's her new name, but Caitlin Chikagan against Macy Barber. I really like Macy Barber in this spot. Caitlin Chikagan has been very open about her past life, about the miscarriages. She had two miscarriages, and yeah, she's just been talking about that, and I don't think her head's in the right space. Just like we've said before, you gotta have what was it? You gotta have both feet into the fight game. If you have one foot in, one foot out, it's never a good time. I think Macy Barber is gonna overwhelm her. I think Macy could potentially get her out of there. But yeah, my pick is Macy Barber. I really like her. I think she does push the pace, like you didn't say that, but she does push the pace. She's aggressive. We saw it in the Amanda Ribas fight. That she knocked her out, and yeah, I think she's very good with her striking. What do you think?
Yeah, just starting off what you said, hard out for how do you say her name? I
Chikagan?
don't know how to say her new name.
Oh, Criminera.
Yeah, I was gonna say Emanera, yeah, all heartfelt, all here for her. I hope that she's doing okay and everything like that. It's never good to hear about personal issues like that, but hopefully she's in the right headspace because this is a fight. But looking over at this fight, she hasn't fought since 2022, I think, against Manon Fiorot. She does throw a lot of jabs. She's going to come forward, try to manage the distance while striking. She seems like she's a very technical striker, but I think Macy Barber has looked great. She's on a five-fight winning streak. She was able to get a round two win against Amanda Ribas. And she's a very good striker. She has good boxing, and I think she's improved her wrestling along the way and can set up takedowns, but her takedown defense isn't really the best. But I think Macy Barber can use the striking to set up takedowns. And since what's her name? Primanera is the older fighter, I think Macy Barber is just gonna win this fight. I think she's looking good, and I think she's peaking at like kind of the right time, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Next we have Curtis Blades against
Your favorite fight?
Jailton Almeida. I really like Jailton Almeida on this one. I know you don't like him. I just think he's the better athlete. He Yes, he might come in a little bit, probably a lot smaller than Curtis Blades, but he's just very fucking powerful. To be honest, I've seen videos of him grappling. His grappling is legit. He's got I think he's got good striking in my opinion. He mixes it all well, and if he can take down Fat Derek Lewis, I think he can take down Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades, I've been high on him, and then I haven't been high on him, and everyone's saying that he's the future champion. Everyone's been saying been the future champion for like the past 3 years. I'm pretty sure. So, I feel like Curtis Blades, whenever the lights shine on him, he turns to like wilt, to be honest, and he turns to basically shy away from the big moment. I think Jason Almeida is, like you said, like you've said before, he's peaking at the right moment. I think he's got the tools to run the the heavyweight division, and if he uses his grappling, his BJJ, I think he could submit him, in my opinion, or even ground and pound him. But yeah, what are you thinking about this?
Yeah, so we all know, I already knew that that was going to be the pick, your future champion. But, anyways, this is the featured prelim fight of the night. So, a very good one as well. But, like you said, Curtis Blades, everybody has referred to him to be the future champ for the past 3 to 4 years. But we know who he is. He used to be a wrestler. He used to average, I think, 6 takedowns a fight. He used to nonstop wrestle, but really in the last couple of fights, that hasn't been the case. He's depended more on his striking. He does have power and speed in his hands, but he has been knocked out. But he's only been knocked out by, I guess, the best punchers in the division: Sergey Pavlovich, Derek Lewis, and Francis Ngannou. But the thing is, he can get taken down. His defensive wrestling isn't the best, and he doesn't really utilize his offensive wrestling anymore. And Hilton Almeida, I've never seen anyone's stock drop harder than this guy's off of a dominant win. I understand. I think all of us lost in that last fight as a fan. We all lost. But I think he was mainly just showing off that he can hold Derek Lewis down and do whatever he wants with him for the entire 5 rounds. But he's a freak. This dude is a giant. He looks good. I think Hilton is going to shoot takedowns and get it. And I think he's probably just going to do that for the entirety of the fight. And he could probably honestly snatch up a submission, because I feel like Curtis Blades, when he does get taken down, he is kind of like a Derek Lewis thing. He doesn't really know how to get back up and faces those difficult positions. And I think Jai Hilton is just next level when it comes to the ground, and that he is going to be able to impose his will while he holds Curtis Blades down. So I think this one's pretty straightforward. I think Jai Hilton is a really good fighter. I think he is high level. As much as I like to crap on the guy and everything, but looking overall, he is a game fighter. I think he takes this one. I know some people like Curtis Blades in this fight, but I think Jai Hilton is the side on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially at -115 for his money line. I think that's a steal. To be honest, I feel like he should be labeled at like -250, -200. If I'm being
Yeah,
completely
that's what
honest.
I thought as well.
Yeah, these odds are like very wild in my opinion. Submissions at +300, and then KO is at +450. So even if he takes him down and he grounds and pounds him right there, the sub and club is what they call it at +450. Yeah, you could probably give me that as well. Um, but yeah, I just think that these odds should be way wider than what they are, in my opinion. I don't think, like I said, I liked Curtis Blades, but he's disappointed me in so many fights, and I feel like he can beat. So he can beat the middle tier to like maybe the upper middle tier of the heavyweight, but once it comes up to like the upper tier of the heavyweights, he just folds, and it's bad. So I think it's gonna be the same way. I think Jailton Almeida is the upper tier of the heavyweight. He's one of those newer generation of fighters that you know is very well rounded. So I think Jailton Almeida takes this one, like you said. But yeah, anything else to add on this one?
I like what you said right there. Like when you were talking about Curtis Blades, I think everyone has this idea of him just because he looks dominant in some of his fights. But like you said, those aren't really the top level guys. Like, yes, he's looked good against the Chris Dawkinsons, the Junior Dos Santos, the Rosenstrikes. But when it comes to the bright lights, when you're fighting the Francis Ngannou, the Sergey Pavlovich, he does fold. And I think this is just going to be another case of that. I think John Hilton is coming in ready to make a statement, and I think he's going to just impose his will on him, and that people kind of put their money down on Curtis Blades, thinking like, oh, he should be able to do that when he's not really a defensive wrestler. And I think, like you said, that money line is a steal. I think John Hilton is looking like a very good pick in this fight. Honestly, you could call him a lock of the week if we're being honest.
Honestly, we might as well put the stamp, the official stamp on it. It is the lock of the week. Jailton made up money
Lock
line.
him in, guys.
Moving forward, we have basically two of the best boxers in bantamweight. Peter Yan against Song Yadong, Song Chat Yadong. You can go ahead and break this one down.
Oh man, this one was a really tough one for me. I like both of these fighters, and looking over at Jan, we all know who he is. His last couple fights really don't do him justice, just because we know that a lot of those were close fights, except the last one against Marab, where he was taken down 11 times, but Marab shot like 36 something times on him, so we can't dog him for that. But he's a great boxer. He has that dog in him to go into a war like he showed in the O'Malley fight. And he also does utilize good wrestling at times. And he's facing a young, sounded weird to say young Song Yadong that is only 26 years old. He's coming off, I think he's coming off that win against Chris Gutierrez, which kind of lowered his stock in a way for me just because he didn't look so dominant. And I felt like he brought himself down a level when fighting that fight. I feel like if it wasn't for that fight, this fight would be easy, clear cut for me. But looking at him, he is a technical striker. He throws hard with every shot he throws is with power and it's fast. But the thing is, he is very hittable, but he does like to set the pace on his opponents. I think this is a tough fight to call just because both guys look very game, and I feel like some people don't give Peter Yan that. Some people are like he's ready to go to Bellator, like Sean 22 or Adam 22 or whatever his name is. But Peter Yan is a game fighter, but I just think that I'm gonna ride with Song Yadong in this one, just because he is a younger fighter that has shown improvement mostly in every fight except that last one against Chris Gutierrez. But honestly, if you're picking Peter Yan in this fight, I can't knock you down on that one. I think this one could honestly go either way. I definitely ain't gonna put no money on this one just because I want to enjoy this one as a fan.
Nice. Yeah. For me, I'm gonna pick Peter Yan. I just think he's very nice, very technical in the striking, good boxer. He's got all the tools to beat Song Yadong. They have a very common opponent in Corey Sandhagen, and Peter Yan basically easily beat him. Beat Corey Sandhagen, and in that fight, I know about what was it, the eye poke, right? It was the eye, something about the eye, correct?
Oh, against you.
Song Yadong. Corey against Song Yadong.
He had that nasty, disgusting cut over his eye.
Yeah. In a fight where honestly he may have won. Honestly, he was looking like he.
I think it was probably 2-2 about to go into the fifth round.
Yeah. So and we don't know how it was gonna end, but I just think there's levels to this game, and I think Peter Yan has faced the better competition. Yes, I know people are like, oh, but he's lost. You know what? He's lost his last three fights, uh, last four fights, excuse me, because he got disqualified on the Aljamain Sterling
Rumor
fight.
those shouldn't count.
Yeah. So, yes, I know that, but I mean, I think he beat O'Malley in my opinion. I really do think he beat O'Malley. He had more takedowns. He had more total strikes. I think he beat. I think it was very, very close in the second Aljamain Sterling fight. I honestly think he did beat him. He had more significant strikes in that fight as well. The first fight with Aljamain Sterling was not even close. Like, we would be talking
Granted,
way completely different. It would be a different timeline right now if he didn't throw that knee. I think yeah, he messed up, but he dominated him in that fight. He was piecing him up. And Aljamain Sterling didn't know what to do, and yeah, it was his mistake that he threw the knee, and here we are. I just think that he's taken some time off. He's taken around a year off to basically completely heal. I think he rushed back to get into a fight after the O'Malley fight to fight Marab Davishvili. I think he rushed. And now that he's healthy, I think he's gonna show that there's different levels. He looks great in camp. I heard he's had a good camp. I just think he gets it. He takes it all the way. I think he's more technical, and he's a really good boxer. So I think he takes it. It's not like Sung Yadong is gonna wrestle and gonna become a black belt of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and we're gonna see different takedowns and different level changes and whatnot. No, I don't think Sung Yadong's gonna do any of that. I think this is gonna stay in the feet. And in the feet, I favor Peter Yan in my opinion. So my pick is Peter Yan, and my boy's pick is Song Yadong. So we'll see who comes out on top. Anything else to add?
well, just like you said, this one's going to be a really good fight. This could honestly be that one fight that Jan needs to return back into the form and just show everybody who he is. I think this one's going to be incredible. But like you said, Jan is going to be a dangerous opponent. His boxing is next level as well. I think both of these guys are really great strikers, and I think it's just going to be a clash in the middle of that octagon and see who comes out on top. But I think I'm just gonna ride with Song Yadong on this one, just because I like him as a fighter. I think he's very exciting, especially as a prospect. So the Kung Fu Kid has my backing on this one.
Awesome, awesome. And now we got Gilbert Durinho Burns against Jack Fraudalena. I'm not very high on Jack Della Fraudalena. I think he's overrated. I think he is a fraud, and he's gonna get tested in this fight. I'm picking Gilbert Burns. I know that's not a very hot take out there. People are saying he's 37, X, Y, and Z. Yes, I know he's 37, but it's not like he's gonna miraculously just fall off the earth right now. The Bilal fight was competitive until he got hurt, and in my opinion, I thought he would take out Bilal out of there. Bilal couldn't even finish him, and people are like, yeah, but he stumbled on the jab. He's been stumbling on jabs with Kamaru. He's been stumbling on jabs with Bilal. He fell down. If you see the fight, I rewatched the fight against Bilal, and when he punched him, I believe he was on one leg. So yes, he was off balanced, and I don't think that strike really even landed that clean. I think it was more of him being unbalanced, and he just kind of stuttered down. And people are like, "Oh my God, Bilal!" No, Bilal didn't knock him down. And same thing with Kamaru. Kamaru, the first knockdown that he did, he was also unbalanced on one leg, and then yes, he did knock him out in round three. But that fight, through the first 1 to 2 rounds, it was pretty competitive. My big problem with Jack Madalena, it was whenever he fought. I think it was what short notice Basil Hafiz. Basil Hafiz took him down with ease.
Yeah.
He mixed in the striking and he took him down with ease. And I thought he lost that fight in my opinion, and they gave him the split. Same thing with the Kevin Holland fight. I thought he lost that fight as well, and they gave him the split as well. So I think Gilbert is not a stupid fighter. I think he's gonna take him down, and he's a multiple time ADCC, or however you say it, black belt winner for jiu jitsu, and he's gonna submit him in my opinion. Gilbert Burns by submission at plus 350. Yeah, give me that all day. It's just wild that you guys are thinking that Jack Madalena is just gonna miraculously knock him out, or miraculously just beat him so bad that Gilbert is so old and he's so ancient. No, Gilbert. I feel like this. If Gilbert is fading, I think he still has one more good fight in him, and this is the one more good fight. After that, yeah, maybe he might fade, and we can see the decline of him. But I think he's still pretty solid all around, in my opinion. He does. He has power in his hands. He his grappling is top tier, and yeah, I think this one should be easy. I think Gilbert wins by submission, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, so looking over this, a lot of people think Gilbert Burns is over the hill. He's washed up. It's not like he's losing to bums. He's lost to high level guys, top of the division kind of guys. The last three fights he's lost was Kamaru Usman, that was a champion, Khamzat Chimaev, and Bilal Muhammad. All three guys, two of them that could be future champs, and one that was. We can't knock him down for that. But like you said, he's a world class Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. He has good striking. He does have that knockout power. He's fast and he can hang with the top of the division that he showed. And I think people just knock him because of his age. He's 37, but I feel like he's still a game fighter. But looking over at Jack, he's on a big winning streak. Not really the highest level competition. I won't knock him down for that. But he's a striker. He's gonna throw high volume. He's gonna utilize that jab, and he has pretty solid power. But his takedown defense is pretty solid. I think it's at 82%. But looking over it, I think that he's not really what some people believe he is. Just because the Kevin Holland fight, I feel like the only reason Kevin Holland lost that fight is because he didn't utilize everything he needed to win that fight. I think he fought lower down than he what he's capable of, and ended up losing a split decision. And the Brazil fight, like we said, not supposed to even be competitive. And I understand it was short notice, but fought to a decision. I feel like Jack fights these not really the greatest level competition, and he's barely been squeaking out split decision wins. And I don't think he does that against Gilbert Durinho Burns. I think Durinho Burns still is a high level fighter, and the fact that he's this big of an underdog is crazy. I'm gonna definitely put some money down on that, but I think he gets it done. I think Burns is going to go out there and remind people that he is still a great fighter. I think he's the more overall well-rounded fighter, and I think that people are just sleeping on him at this point. He's game, and he's only lost to the top guys. He hasn't lost to a bum or anything recently, and I think that's what people think he is a bum. But I'm riding with Dorino all day on this one. I'll ride that wagon until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing to note as well, they're like, "Oh, but Chimaev knocked him down." Okay, but Chimaev is Chimaev's a middleweight. He's not a welterweight. If anything, he's even bigger than that. Chimaev's huge for welterweight, and I believe that was his last time that he made weight at welterweight. After that, he's fighting at middleweight and whatnot. So you can't really knock Gilbert Arenas for basically getting knocked down Hamzat Chimaev. And even in the first round, it was very, very competitive. I believe he was punching him. I don't know if he got a takedown, but I just remember they were sprawling on the ground, and Dorino was doing good against the wrestling of Hamzat Chimaev. And in my opinion, if you're doing really good against grappling against Hamzat Chimaev, I think that's a good look because Hamzat, not only is he a good grappler, but also he's very big and powerful. So, and probably maybe one or two weight classes above Gilbert Arenas. So if you can hang on the ground with Hamzat Chimaev, I think you should be fine with Jack Della Maddalena. I think he takes him down. I think he submits him, or maybe he grounds and pounds him. Submission is at plus 350. Gilbert Arenas by KO is at plus 850. So either or, if I'm gonna put a unit or two on either of those prop bets, I think that's very good. I think I might do submission, to be honest, because like I said, I really didn't like that fight against Basil Hafiz. Um, I don't rate Basil as one of the best to ever do it either. He came in on short notice, gave him a hard fight, took him down 3 times, and yeah, whenever he was on the ground, he kind of looked kind of lost out there. So we're talking about a multiple ACDCC, or however you say ADCC, I'm pretty sure, champ
Yeah.
in Gilbert Arenas, and that's not any small feat. He's a world champion in jiu-jitsu. So whenever you get the chance to bet on someone that's a world champ in jiu-jitsu and the other guy is not proven in their grappling, you're gonna have to take it at plus 150 for the money line, at plus 350 for the submission. Yeah, give me that any day. But yeah, any other last thoughts on this?
I think this one is going to be exciting as well. I think that a lot of people slept on Burns, and the fact that the line has gotten wide like that is kind of insane. Jack, I feel like he's kind of unproven, and I think people are just seeing the record and hearing that, oh, he's a great boxer, and kind of just jumping on the hype train. I think this could be one of those times that he gets fraud check and Dorino puts his lights out. But I'm definitely gonna ride with Burns. I could never go against him especially against this fraud. I think he is a fraud, but who knows? He could prove us wrong. But I'm very excited for that one.
Absolutely. Moving forward, we have Kevin Holland against the debut of Michael Venom Page, MVP. Quick fact, my buddy did call. He had the insider scoop. He did call that he was going to come in and sign with the UFC when he did. So shout out to you for that. I have to give you your roses. We both know who these two fighters are. Very, very great on striking. Michael Page with his unorthodox striking. Kevin Holland with his striking as well. Kevin Holland. One thing to note: Kevin Holland is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. People say it's a fake black belt, to be honest, but he is a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Uh, do I want to bet this fight? Probably not, because Kevin Holland is very, very unpredictable, and yeah, it's to the point where he's unbettable, to be honest. In the Stephen Thompson fight, I believe he Kevin Holland did take him down. I don't remember. Give me 1 second. I'll look it up. But in the Stephen Thompson fight, I think he did take him down. He just stood him back up because he wanted to wanted to fight his strike down a striking match. Yeah, he took him down twice, and he just let him back up just because he wanted to strike with him. And that shows me right there that Kevin Holland doesn't really take this seriously. He just wants to put a show for the fans. Michael Venom Page, in the other hand, in my opinion, hasn't really faced great quality competition. If we're being honest, I've seen who he's faced, and it's not great. It's not great, to say the least. Uh, he has two losses. If I'm gonna pick just to pick, I think I'm gonna pick Kevin Holland in this fight. To be honest, just because he's fought the better competition than Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up his record right now. So whenever my in his he was facing, let's see. So he lost against Logan Storley. He lost against Douglas Lima, and then rematches him and wins a split decision against Douglas Lima. And then after Douglas Lima, though, he faces Richard Kelly, who I believe is like what 3-3. When they fought, he was 3-2. So not the best level of competition at Bellator. Then the next fighter he faces Giovanni Melillo, I believe, and he's also right now his record's 14-10. So like I said, not the best level of competition. That screams to me a little bit of fraudulent. And whenever he did face the Logan Storley, he wilted basically. He died. Same thing with Douglas Lima. Douglas Lima knocked him out in one of the funniest KOs there is. And yeah, I just think Kevin Holland is the pick. I don't know if I want to bet that, just because Kevin Holland has burned me in the past. If Kevin Holland does use his takedowns, and I could see Kevin Holland submitting him, to be honest. I might take a shot at Kevin Holland by submission at plus 600. That's something to be worthy of, because whenever Kevin Holland faced Michael Chiesa, he submitted him, and I didn't think he was going to submit Michael Chiesa. So yeah, I think I'd take a shot at the submission for Kevin Holland. What do you think?
Yeah, so looking over this, I think this is a very fun fight. I'm very excited for this one. But like you said, looking over at Kevin Holland, he's very accurate and a powerful striker. He does have good BJJ skills. His takedown defense has improved. Because back in the day when he first got to the UFC, if you just shot a takedown on him, you could smother him out for the whole fight and he would lose. But other than that, I feel like he has all the tools, but finds a way to either lose a fight or make it super way closer than it needs to be. But he's a very talented guy, honestly. But he's fighting Michael Venom Page, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He's coming off that. horrendous leg kick win against Yami Uchi, I think, where he like destroyed the guy's knee with a kick. It's his UFC debut. He's a savage striker. He's had a good run with Bellator, but he is 36 years old. He does have that kind of karate style. He's patient. He uses his length for range, and then he also has some power in his hands. But like you said, I think the competition that he faced in Bellator wasn't really the highest level that there was. And not only that, I feel like he is older. He is 36. I feel like he should have came to the UFC probably like 5 or 4 years ago. I feel like he wasted the prime of his career and is coming in at the last when the door is closing compared to when he should have came in. I
Yeah,
just think Holland
go ahead.
overall, I think Holland's just a more rounded fighter, has fought the better competition, and all of it comes down to is focus. Whether Holland stays focused in this fight, sticks to the game plan, or if Michael Venom Page kind of gets in his head and Holland starts talking and becoming big mouth, then it could swing the other way. But I think Holland's gonna win this fight. I think he was landing the better strikes on Stephen Wonderboy until he broke his hand and everything happened. But if he can focus and even shoot for a takedown, use his grappling, and stay light on his feet, I think he wins this fight. I think Michael Venom Page showed up little too late to the dance, but still an exciting prospect. I mean, not prospect, exciting fighter that I'm excited to see. Even if he's an older guy, I'm excited to see what he can do if he has anything left in the tank. A lot of questions more than answers for this fight, but I think Holland's a pick. But regardless, I'm gonna enjoy this fight. But can you bet Holland? I don't know. I think he's on my ban list if I'm being honest for the last couple performances, like the Jack fight, the Wonder Boy fight. But other than that, it's going to be an exciting fight. I think this one will probably stay on the feet for the majority of the fight and give the fans a great palate cleanser before we get to the two big ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving to the co-main event, we have Dustin the Diamond Poirier against Benoit God of War Saint-Denis. Uh, in my opinion, I think Benoit Saint-Denis beats Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier has been in talks of retirement, from what I heard. Once again, rule in the podcast here is if you're talking about retirement, you're probably not your heart is not in it fully, and you're one step in, one step out of the door. I don't like that. But not only that, I think Benoit Saint-Denis is a very good fighter all around, and in my opinion, I think he gets him out of there probably in the third, fourth, or fifth round. That's probably the round props I'm gonna bet Benoit Saint-Denis. Plus 650, plus 1,000, and plus 1,400 on round 3, 4, and 5. I'm probably gonna bet him on that point. I don't know what way. I've been trying to visualize how he's gonna get it done. Maybe by KO, maybe takes him down and ground and pounds him. Maybe a leg, basically a KO from a kick. Who knows? Dustin Poirier is also on the side of 35, the wrong side of 35. He just came from a brutal knockout from Justin Gaethje, and every time we've seen fighters get knocked out and then come back, such as Volkanovski, they don't look the same. To be honest, they really don't. And I just think Dustin Poirier doesn't really have his heart in this one. But yeah, what are you thinking about this one?
Okay, so not only is this a 5 round fight, which is exciting, I think Dana White treated us all for this because fact this is 5 rounds is unbelievable. But looking over it, we all know who Dustin Poirier. He's the diamond. He's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He was brutally head kicked by Justin Gaethje, but before that, he was a very durable fighter. Before that, he's an incredible boxer. Has great BJJ. He has a black belt, and his fight IQ is really great. I can tell you that by the way he utilized calf kicks against Conor McGregor and basically shut him down in that fight and got the win there. But Benoit Saint Denis, 5 fight winning streak, all finishes, and had that nasty head kick against Matt Favola. We all know who he is, the former Special Forces officer. He's a killer, a strong wrestler who's going to come forward with speed and strength, and he's going to throw everything in it. And he could also shoot for takedowns. This is a hard fight for me just because I feel like Dustin, whenever his back is against the wall, I feel like that's when he shines the brightest. Not only that, he's never lost back to back fights throughout his entire career, which is a legendary career. Regardless, interim champ, never won the undisputed, but one of the best careers you can say to have in the UFC. But just looking over this, I don't know. I feel like Dustin has been in a lot of wars throughout his career, and being at the age of 35 and that knockout from Justin Gaethje, I feel like this could probably be the beginning of the end, especially with talks of retirement. I feel like Benoit Saint-Denis isn't the kind of guy you talk about retirement and have one foot out the door. I feel like this is going to be a great fight, but I think Benoit is probably going to win this fight. I think he probably could get Dustin out of there, but if it gets into the later rounds, I don't know. I feel like Dustin has that 5 round championship ability that he could start putting the pace on him. But overall, I think Benoit is just very tough, very solid fighter, and I think he probably is going to take this fight. As much as it pains me to say it, because I have enjoyed Dustin Poirier's majority of his career, but I think it's like we said plenty of times. This card is the kind of the new changing of the guard, and if there's going to be a changing of the guard in this fight, what's not better than someone like Benoit Saint Denis, a very good fighter, a killer, and honestly, I wouldn't mind if he puts an amazing performance out here, throw him in a title eliminator, and get him up into the upper echelon of the division.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So what was your pick? Because I feel like you said a whole lot of nothing.
Shut it, bum. I said that Benoit Saint Denis is the pick, sadly.
Okay, cool, cool. Yes, we are in agreement with that one. Kind of scary because we're in agreement between all fights except for one. That's the Peter Yan fight. And now to the most anticipated main event. We have Sean 22 O'Malley against Marlon, the Pride of Ecuador, Vera. Um, we both know who these fighters are. Sean O'Malley is good with his boxing, good with his striking, his lateral movements. He goes in and out. Marlon Vera has good durability, has good cardio, a little bit of a slow starter. Probably doesn't start till round 3, 4, or 5. Um, I don't like Sean O'Malley, but that's not why I'm gonna pick against him. I just think Marlon Vera has the better tool set in my opinion. Yes, the striking goes to Sean O'Malley, but Marlon Vera has the better cardio, has the better grappling, and in my opinion, probably has the better fight IQ. I like it. He has really good leg kicks, and Sean O'Malley, from the waist down, he's not that durable from the waist down. He's on all of his career has been known that he has bad ankles, he has bad legs. So Marlon Vera is gonna pick him apart from the legs. The only way I see Sean O'Malley winning is if he gets him out of there from in the first 1 or 2 rounds. Other than that, I think Marlon Vera takes over. He'll push the pace. It'll kind of look like the Dominic Cruz fight where Dominic Cruz was winning, touching him apart, picking him apart, and then out of nowhere Marlon Vera just KOs him. But the good thing about this fight is that it is 5 rounds, of course, just like it is 5 rounds. I think he'll basically dominate after round 3 or after round 2, to be honest. And I think he gets him out of there, to be honest. I just think that Marlon Vera has the better tool set, and if he does mix in the grappling, I think he's the better grappler. He is a really good BJJ player, although he doesn't really use it. And people are like, yeah, but Marlon starts slow. Sean O'Malley's boxing is great. X, Y, and Z. Marlon Vera is really good at deflecting punches. He's very good. He shells up nice. He has a good, what would it call, like a good boxing defense, I would say, boxing shell. And yeah, so he can avoid to get hit, and the man doesn't really bleed. He has a granite chin. He's very durable. Whereas Sean O'Malley is kind of weak to the body, kind of weak to the legs. We haven't seen anyone touch his chin, so we don't know how his chin is. But other than that, he can pick Marlon Vera can pick him apart and kick him in the body, which he's done so in the past. I believe the one fight that I recall was against Frankie Edgar. He was picking him apart in the body, kicking him, and then the front kick came and knocked him out. So in my opinion, I think Marlon Vera wins this. Do I think he's gonna be a successful champion? No, not really. But this is the fight for Marlon to win. I think this is the easier champion for him to win, and I think Marlon beats him again, and the score is gonna be 2-0 when Saturday comes. What do you think?
Okay, so yeah, this is an exciting fight. What a fight to end off the night. But looking over at the champ, Sean O'Malley, he's 4-0-1 in his last five performances. He's coming off that title-winning win performance against Aljamain Sterling. This is a rematch we've all been waiting for since the first one. Since we've heard "Welcome to the Cheeto Show," this is my show. I think everyone has been drooling for this fight, and if you haven't, then I don't know what to tell you. But other than that, some people could say the first one was a fraud because of the leg kicks, but I don't know how you can call it a fraud because Tito threw the leg kicks, it took his leg out, and then he did put him out for even a millisecond with the elbow on the ground. I don't know how you can call that a fraud. That's a win regardless. But Sean O'Malley, he's a striker. We all know that he has power in his hands and he has incredible accuracy. He can get into a slugfest, and we know he can make it out on the other side. The Peter Yan fight is an example of that. Such a close fight. I had Yan winning, but if you had O'Malley winning that fight, I can't even blame you. He's a dog. He does have high level striking, and he's going against Chito Vera. Uh, Last win was against Pedro Munoz. Cheeto's a very hard and powerful striker. He's very durable. He has a strong chin. Like you said, the only problem with him is that he is a slow starter, but in a 5 round fight, he has room for that. Overall, I think this comes down to which one is gonna be able to go the whole 5 rounds. I think O'Malley is the better accurate striker, but I think Cheeto is more durable and powerful. And I feel like O'Malley could probably start slowing down in the later rounds, and that Cheeto can pull off this victory. But if I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna go Sean O'Malley in this one, just because I feel like he's
Cooked.
gotten shown the harder fights. He has put on those performances that shown him to be championship level. As much as I do hate on this guy, and having your girlfriend bang another guy is never cool, and I will never support that. I just feel like Sean O'Malley has this is his fight to win, and put all that first fight to bed, and maybe we see this third fight in the future or not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, all valid points. I just Sean. There's a lot of concerns with Sean. I don't think he's ever seen a fourth round. So we don't know how the cardio, you know, how the cardio holds up. In my honest opinion, um, Marlon Vera has seen the fourth and fifth rounds. I'm pretty sure he has
Yeah,
gone the distance. He's had
Sandhagen.
yeah, main events and stuff. Yeah, the Sandhagen fight. The what other fight did he go 5 rounds? I believe the Dominic Cruz fight, correct? If I mean, like the third or
I
fourth.
think that went four.
That went four. Okay, at least he's seen the fourth round. The Rob Font fight that went 5 rounds, and yeah, I just think that he has those championship rounds. Yes, he's gonna have to start a little bit faster, but if Sean O'Malley can get him out in 1 or 2 rounds, yes, that is his fight to win. But I don't. I feel like Marlon Vera has improved tremendously. These are way completely fighters too, to be honest. If we're being honest here, from 2020, way completely different
Mhm.
fighters. Both have improved tremendously. I just think that Marlon Vera is basically so Sean O'Malley is basically what's his name, Israel Adesanya, and Marlon Vera is his Alex Pereira, and I don't think he'll ever beat him. In my opinion, I might be wrong. Who knows? But I'll take a shot at Marlon Chito Vera at plus 220 money line. Sure, I'll take a shot at that. And then round 3, 4, 5. I feel like those are auto bets in my system place, if how people say it. Plus 1800, plus 2500, plus 3300. I want to be there whenever Marlon Vera drags him to the waters to round 5, and I'm holding a plus 3300, 33 to 1 ticket. I want to be there. I don't want to miss out on that. There is no props for split decision, but in order, yeah, I just think that he gets it done, and who knows? I did see Marlon was practicing some jujitsu as well. He trains with I forgot what the brothers are, but it's two of the brothers from BJJ. They're really good. They have curly hair. I don't remember, but
The Rotolo brothers.
huh?
The Rotolo brothers.
Yes, I think so. How do you spell that again?
Yeah. Huh?
Oh yes, yes, the Kate Rotolo. Yes, he trains with the
Yeah.
Rotolo brothers, and the Rotolo brothers are really fucking good. and very fucking young
Phenomenal.
too. So you know those motherfuckers don't get tired, and they're probably on the juice as well. So if he's been going rounds and rounds with them, I think his conditioning is just superb in my opinion, and I think he could melt him. I have him. I am very confident to say that he is gonna melt him. If he does get caught in the first 2 rounds, I also did predict that, but I don't think so. I think he has a good fight IQ that he's not gonna get caught. He has good striking defense that he doesn't really get hit or bleed. And he even said it himself. He's willing to die in that octagon because this is his dream. And whenever this is the immigrant mentality, you got to factor that in as well, in my opinion. But yeah, I like Marlon Vera here. I feel like this is his fight to lose, if anything. I know there's been talks of him having a bad camp. I think Bisping addressed that, and that was fake, that he's been knocking people out. They've been bringing in the right partners, apparently, long, rangy partners. He's been grappling with the Rotolo brothers. I don't know. I like Marlon Vera more here. He's got that aura to him. This week he was very confident. Didn't seem scared. Didn't seem phased by the big bright lights. He's been here before. It's not like it's his first main event. It might be his first pay per view main event, but yeah, I just think that he's calm. He has a calm demeanor. Sean kind of seemed uneasy because not in the press conference. Not many people paid attention to him, and he thinks he's this big star. Sean O'Malley has no aura, bro. I'm sorry to say, people out there that love Sean O'Malley, you either love Sean O'Malley if you're a cuck, or if you're under 15 and play Fortnite. And yeah, so enough of that. I think Marlon Vera beats him. I think he beats him again. I think he beats him decisively this time, with no questions left unturned. And I think he gets him out, honestly, in the round 4. In my opinion, I think that's when he takes over round 3. Round 4, he knocks him out. So I'm willing to bet round 3, round 4, round 5. I think it's a must at this point. It's a system play, like they say. He is around. He's a round 3, round 4, round 5 fighter. He's very good at it, and the cardio is just crazy. The man runs like 13 miles like every day. I'm pretty sure. So cardio is there. He has the cardio. Like I said, cardio edge, grappling edge, the only and durability edge, in my opinion. And Sean O'Malley, what's the only edge that he has is the striking, but striking defense of Marlon Vera is really good. I don't care what you say about the Rob Font fight, that Rob Font pushed the pace and landed punches on him, set the record. Yeah, but if you see that fight, those punches basically deflect from Marlon Vera's gloves and doesn't really hit him fully intact. It just kind of rubs it off from his head. So I just think Marlon Vera is really good at striking defense, and I think he's got Sean O'Malley's number. And it's not to say as well that, oh, but Sean O'Malley has a huge reach on him. An inch and a half. An inch and a half doesn't is not necessarily anything significant, in my opinion. If it was like 4 or 5 inches, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, Sean O'Malley can pick him apart, and this might be over. No, they're pretty much very, very, very evenly distributed. I just don't think that Sean O'Malley has the cardio to go until those 4 or 5 rounds and push the pace that he wants to push. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, and not only that, I feel like more of the pressure is on Sean O'Malley just because the UFC has pushed him to the moon. And if he falls hard right here with his when he's just barely starting his run, it's gonna be one of the biggest embarrassments. But I just feel like Sean O'Malley is probably dialed in. I feel like he has the tool sets to hang in there. I know Chito is dangerous. He is durable. And if this fight does go the whole 5 rounds, I'm very excited to see what Sean O'Malley's demeanor and how is he going to look in those championship rounds. And I think this one just spells a lot of questions and answers that's going to be answered on Saturday. And I'm very excited. I think this one is probably going to be a close fight. I think this probably could go down to a decision win, and it's honestly either guy's fight to win. If you're on either side of this fight, I can't blame you. This is one of those that it is probably going to be a close fight, and I'm very excited for it. I just think Sean O'Malley is going to be my pick. He's proven me wrong, especially in that last fight against Aljamain Sterling. I thought he was going to get dominated. I thought he wasn't even in the same realm as Aljamain, and he was able to pick a shot and land the big one and put him out.
Yeah,
So I I'll ride with him on this one. I'll give the new champ a chance to see what he's capable of and see where we go from there.
Well, whenever I text you that the Pride of Ecuador has done it again, you will be you will be sad because you weren't holding a round five, 33 to one ticket.
One immigrant to another.
But yeah, to just to break it down again of what we have, we both have Myra Moros. These are just picks, by the way, no bets, just picks. We'll go afterwards with the bets of what we think are is gonna happen. Myra Moros with the Myra Moros, Asu Alambayev, Robelis Despain, right? Michelle Pereira, Ion Kutelava, Kyler Phillips, Mateos Gamrot, Macy Barber, Jailton Almeida. I have Peter Yan, and my friend over here has Yao Desong. Gilbert Burns. We both have Kevin Holland. We both have Benoit Saint Denis, the God of War. And my friend has Sean Cock O'Malley, and I have Marlon, the Pride of Ecuador, Chito Vera, to recap. Other than that, let's give a little parlay to the people out there that are listening. Go ahead. What do you have cooked?
Okay, so I'm thinking if you want to go for a parlay, I think Jahilton Almeida has to be a pick that you got to put in there, especially at minus 115. I think that's an excellent kind of something to lay in there, especially at those odds. I mean, I think it's going to be a good fight. If you're looking to play it kind of safe or not, I would say, or if you're me and want to play dangerous, throw Gilbert Burns in there, throw one plus 150, and then throw Sean O'Malley and those three guys. If you add them all up, that's plus 537. A three-leg parlay. One unit can win you $53 if you put down 10.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. For me, I have Jailton Almeida, Benoit Saint Denis, and then Mateos Gamrot. Plus 235, not really that juicy in my opinion. But honestly, if you put, let's just say you put 3 units down on that, you win 7 units. So I think that's pretty good in my opinion. I think those are all very likable people that are gonna win. Uh, I think Benoit Saint Denis wins very confidently. I have very confidently picked and Mateus Gamrot. The only one that might be a little bit tricky is Jailton Almeida, but in my opinion, I'm very confident that Jailton Almeida will take it. If you want to take Mateus Gamrot because you're scared of what happened last week with Javid Vajarat, you can add in a Gilbert Burns, like you said, plus 585. So you put in 3 units, you're getting back. I don't know how much you're getting back. Now you put $300, you're getting back $1,754.35. So if you put $300
Not
down,
bad.
yeah. So that's pretty solid as well. Um, I don't. I only do 3 to 2 leg parlays. I don't do anything else because then you're asking for trouble. But if you're really confident on our takes and you want to put maybe a Kevin Holland in there, you're at plus 1,096 for four picks. But yeah, I think the parlay for the people this Saturday would be Jailton Almeida, Gilbert Burns, and Benoit Saint Denis. If you're not confident on Gilbert Burns, take him out. You got Jailton Almeida and Benoit Saint Denis plus 174. Pretty solid as well. Put in 5 units in there, you come back with 8.6 units back. So pretty solid as well there. Both great picks there. So really up to you on how you want to play, or if you just want to play straight money lines, um, you can go ahead and do that. For me, I guess one of the props that I might look into betting, Gilbert Burns by submission. I feel like that should be a. I feel like that's free money in my opinion. Obviously, nothing is free money, but I feel like that's pretty solid. And then I'm probably gonna play either, either Benoit Saint Denis 345. So plus 650, plus 1,000, plus 1,400. I think Dustin Poirier is good to go. I don't think he gets knocked out in the first 2 rounds. I hope not. I feel like he can last to the third round. So 3-4-5 is very pretty solid for Benoit Saint-Denis to get him out of there. And then Marlon Chito Vera, we all know that he is a late starter. So 3-4-5 is a must in my opinion. If he can get him out, I think he gets him out in 3-4-5. So plus 1800, plus 2500, plus 3300. So 18 to 1, 25 to 1, and 33 to 1 tickets right out there. So you're putting a unit, you're getting 33 units back. So that's pretty solid. What about you?
Yeah, so looking over at everything, I think there's a lot of value on this card and a lot of tricky plays that could end up costing some people some money. But also, what I was looking at, I think you could probably put Kyler Phillips in there because I think he is going to get that one done. It's going to be a close fight, so you'll probably sweat that leg. I'm looking at also throwing in Benoit Saint Denis in there. And like I said, Kevin Holland, I would, but he's on the ban list, so I'll never touch that man on his picks again. But if you put Kyler Phillips, Macy Barber, and Benoit Saint Denis, you're looking at plus 224. Um, one unit is going to win you about 3.8 units, so that's also pretty good odds. But overall, I think this is going to be an exciting card. I think there's going to be a lot of kind of close fights, some that could end up being shockers, or some where it just looks like it goes down to the game plan from the beginning. But overall, I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah, it should be a banger of a fighter or of a fight. Excuse me. I mean, today it's been a really good week, honestly. Today we had PFL, not the greatest card in my opinion.
Finished by Splinter.
Yeah, the main event ended by Splinter, so we have our first TKO by Splinter. So that's history. We saw history today, boys. Tomorrow we have Francis Ngannou fighting. Uh, yeah, so it's just, and then Saturday we have the real treat, which is UFC 299, which should be all good matches. But yeah, once again, guys, have fun betting. Good luck betting if you are betting, and yeah, don't bet too much. Bet what you can only afford to lose. Don't go too crazy. You're not gonna be a millionaire from just one card. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Always remind yourself that. Sometimes you'll have good cards. Sometimes you'll have bad cards. Sometimes we'll go 12-0. Sometimes we'll go 8-5 or 8-4. So it just depends. It just depends on the card. I think these are all. I think our views are pretty spot on in my opinion. We did. I've watched tape on some of these people. Some of these people you don't really have to watch tape because you've seen them fight a lot. So you might want to watch the highlights. But yeah, when people say they're doing 16 to 8 like 8 to 16 hours of tape, that's kind of a little bit ridiculous, because I mean, we all know who Dustin Poirier is, so there's no reason to watch fights from him from 2012. Same thing with Marlon Chito Vera. There's no reason for us to watch tape from him from 2015. Like, no, maybe watch a fight or two, but yeah, don't get hung up on doing 8 to 16 hours of tape. That's a little bit ridiculous. You do tape mostly on people that you don't know. So if you don't know, maybe Robelis Despain or Asuz Alambayev, yeah, you'll watch tape on those people. But most of these people, they fought in the UFC already. They're, I would say, very stable people that have been there for years. So you might want to watch a fight or two, a fight that makes sense in my opinion. So for example, I'll take the like Marlon Chito Vera and Sean O'Malley. For Sean O'Malley or for Marlon Vera, I'd probably watch the Corey Sandhagen fight again because basically Sean O'Malley is long and rangy like Corey Sandhagen, and then that might give you an idea of what they're gonna fight. Same thing with Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, you might want to watch the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fight again. So it's just stuff like that. You want to watch fights that are very similar to the fight at hand, but you don't want to stay there for like 15 hours at a time just watching fights. That's ridiculous in my opinion. Thoughts?
And yeah, like you're saying, it all depends. All these guys or and gals have fought in the UFC for a good amount of time. A lot of well-known fighters. But like you were saying about tape, that one Cuban guy, however you say his name, not really much of tape. You can watch all his tape in about 2 minutes. But for everyone out there, like I want to always say, help is available. If you do have a gambling addiction problem, you're losing way too much money, your house is going to go be gone in a couple months. If you don't stop, just know help is there. 1-800-662-4357, the national hotline for gambling addiction, and always there 24/7 if you do need help. But overall, these are going to be very great fights. A lot of good fighters, a lot of exciting fighters. Honestly, this feels like UFC 300. If I would woke up from a coma, I would say, "Oh shoot, this has to be 300." But honestly, I think we're all excited for this. This is gonna be a great night of fights. We better enjoy while we last because we're on a dry spell for the next couple of weeks. Not the best, but we'll talk about that when that comes. We're not worried about that. We just want to live in the moment, see some crazy wins, knockouts, submissions, and win some money along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it from us. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys enjoy us breaking down the fights. And yeah, like I said, best of luck to everyone that's fighting, that not fighting, that's betting. If you are fighting, best of luck. If you are a fighter
Best
and
of
you're
luck to you
listening,
too.
yeah, best of luck. Even if you're a small time fighter, best of luck. If you are fighting this weekend. But yeah, have a good one, guys. I think that's gonna be it from us. Any last words, Mr. Ed?
We appreciate everyone that comes through, whether you're here for the long run or not. We enjoy everyone that's here. This is a journey that we're willing to spend time and do this weekly, week in and week out. And I'm just looking forward to it. I always enjoy doing these and really a great time. And I'm glad there's people out there, a community that enjoys fights as much as we do. If you don't agree with all the picks, that's cool. I mean, this is the fight game. Not everyone's going to have the same opinion. I'm not going to be disrespectful about it or call you an idiot, but hey, if you want to discuss the picks or anything, our social media is always open. You can catch me at FTC Ed1, FTC Ed. I'm looking for you. I'm gonna get that back or get it back in the first place. But I am the only one, and you can catch my boy at FTC Fobs on the X. And appreciate y'all for coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good day. Whatever time you're watching it, have a good one. And yeah, we'll stay tuned for the fights. Reach out to us, like my boy said, on X/Twitter. We'll always welcome people to discuss with us. Friendly banter or yeah, any type of banter we like. Honestly, friendly banter or not, discussions is always welcome. So, have a good one. Be safe out there. Bet smart, and yeah, best of luck to everyone. Peace.
Peace.